What's going on, my friends from the inner circle, and welcome to a new video over here. It's going to be a very quick trade recap from today's EURUSD long trade plus a pre-New York analysis. So I'm going to show you right now what I'm going to trade on New York. I'm currently already done for the day. As you all know, my daily target is at 20R. I banked 33, I guess. Yes, 33.8. And yeah, I could just stop now. I'm going to record for you anyways today some new content for the course, but I'm not going to look right now too aggressive to take any trades today. Still, it looks like we're going to catch something pretty good on New York, as well as the price is already up there where I wanted to see it. Okay, so let's just get it started, guys, very quickly with the trade recap. So here the idea was just by looking right now the 4 hours. So I'm not going to repeat right now the higher time frames over and over again, but what we can see in the 4 hours is that we got this swing structure here. This is super important because here that's still a bullish lag, and what we can expect is the price could just tap in any sort of demand zone, giving us a reaction from there, and then we can just potentially go long. Now the 4 hours are still bearish, so we finally broke below the FOMC meeting demand candle over here, and this is currently the 4 hour, so this is currently the 4 hour range, because from here everything started to move on. So you could also have a look at the range like this here, so I'm not going to look here for any kind of supply zones, to be honest. It's just still part of the structure for sure. On the 4 hours, on the 1 hours, it looks already a little bit different, because on the 1 hour it will be only this one. So I don't guess the price will tap into this area over here. Yes, it is possible, but it's just super unrealistic. Then the next step is we're looking on the 1 hour. 1 hour, as we can spot here, there is something. We're going to have a look on the M15, but from here price started to move on, and pretty nice what we can see here on all these demand zones is that they took pretty nice liquidity before they pushed up higher. So there's a good sign that there is something, and especially over here, so this one just took this kind of things out. And what I've seen today, yeah, we wicked below this one, so there is definitely a ton of liquidity available below it. And I was just looking here for any sort of demand zones, and on M15 we will spot here one. Okay, so as you can see, it's a pretty nice one, unmitigated, nothing, but that's not the point, so such a demand zone right now, from the first view, I would say, yeah, it's not the best one, but yes, it's good. Why? Because it took liquidity, pretty nice here as well, and it broke then afterwards structure. I mean, it's the origin, so it's not really from here where the price has broken this structure. It was in reality this one. This is why this one in the past worked out. This is why this one was the POY for this move up. Now that we've went below this, we are interested in this demand or in this demand. Obviously the lowest one is better, pretty simple, because it's at the extreme, plus exactly this one took liquidity, of course. But super important is, and that's the only reason why I was looking at this demand zone, is because price tapped into it today in the morning, and it gave us a huge reaction right before Frankfurt open, and it broke structure. That's the only thing which made it for me interesting. Otherwise, I would have been not looking at it. Also interesting to see is that price during Asia went just crazy to the downside, which means that at some point price will reverse. It will hunt all the liquidity. And that was the whole idea at the end, because I wanted to see price returning, and I didn't fall about, okay, price will go right now straight to the lower demand zone, as this one will be potentially after a correction the target, like this, to follow bearish structure. We are still super bearish on basically all time frames. Right now only on the 1 hour we are bullish, and on M15 we are bullish. That's it. But all the other time frames are still bearish. Now, my expectation is that, of course, we should go higher. But now let's come very quickly back to the trade. So price tapped into it, and on the M5 we can see pretty nice how price started to break structures. At the moment when we've been here in this area, I thought about, okay, we're going to look for some bullish price action very soon. Of course, a pullback back down, otherwise I would have been not interested in getting involved. And my idea was then just, okay, what will price do? Will price follow this? Will it come to this demand or to this demand to follow bullish order flow? Obviously this one is liquidity for the market, but we need to understand what the picture here is telling us. And the interesting part is here, let me just make it a little bit bigger for you, is the price actually came back here, as you can see. So it broke structure to the downside, and at that moment everything was bearish. Now this supply zone here was a pretty aggressive one because it took pretty nice liquidity. You can see how it spiked. It even took out this liquidity here. So it was super bearish for me. I mean, look at this candle just to understand that they just pushed it back. So they wanted to see price coming down lower. Now price took out that demand zone, okay, without giving us here any kind of confirmations. I took out the demand zone, and at that point it was clear, okay, we're not reacting off of this demand zone, so the next potential demand zone is actually this one here. And because of the price went lower, so here I was already looking to get involved, but price went straight back up. Now you can see it took out this liquidity. So for the most smart money concept trader, they would have been identifying right now here on the 1 minute break of structure. But look at this, equal highs, what they wanted to target, this supply zone, which they wanted to target to close their positions from there so that they can go easier through that. And this is exactly the point where a lot of SMC traders try to go long within this whole area. We're trying to go long here, trying to go here, many times, probably a few of them already here. So if you already catch yourself trying to go long somewhere here between, then you made something wrong, because you didn't see price tapping in your M5 demand. Now, what would have been a possibility would have been to go long here with a risk type of entry, or with a reaction off of it here. Would have been a possibility, but you need to keep in mind whenever you're doing trades like this that, you need to close them at the next supply zone, because price was still aiming for the M5 demand, as there was still a lot of things to mitigate from. And that's what I did at the end. So here in this case, if you would have been taking this risk type of entry, I mean, me personally, I even thought about doing it. I didn't do it at the end. Just because of the fact that I've seen, okay, it did not tap in my M5 demand. So I don't want it to go right now too risky, because also the last 2 weeks they haven't been that good. So I just thought, okay, I'm not going to just go risk entry right now for everything. Then I see, okay, price moving up. Then I understood, okay, we're in a supply zone. Let's see if it will drop it down. And then the whole magic started. We tapped in the 1 minute demand zone. And still, I wanted to see some more extra confirmations for my trades. So I started with the 5 seconds to have a look on it. And what I've seen is here pretty nice price action. So in the 5 seconds, you will not always have the best price action, but in this case, you have a pretty nice one. You can see price has broken structure to the upside 2 times actually, because here, as you can see, it broke structure to the downside here as well, and then it broke everything back up, and it started this bullish movement. And at this point, I guess it was already obvious for the majority that there is a reaction off of it. And what I did is I just placed my buy limit within this area, and I wanted definitely to cover up the lows, because price can always go below that, So at least the spike is possible always. So I always like to put, especially if I'm on the 5 seconds for entry, just to move it a little bit below it, So you don't need to do it, okay? It would have been also okay if you do it like this, but this kind of small spike should not get you out, So if you have it like this, I'm not sure right now how your broker works. I mean, it would have been just 2 pipette more, which you need. I guess this is acceptable to use. I do it always, to have a little bit more. So I probably explained already in one of the calls that I use a little bit more stop loss on my trades sometimes. or in the majority of the trades, just that I don't get trapped in these kind of small spikes here. Okay, so never get involved. Never try to not get trapped by just these small movements. That is just ridiculous, guys. Okay, we are trading here already with such a small stop loss, so I don't recommend you right now to just be here too crazy, to go for 0.5 pip stop loss and anything like that, so that you can get 100 pip risk reward in just a few pips movements. No, that should not be the goal. The goal should be that you should really take successful trades, the move of the day, and that's what we did here, my friends. So here, as you can see, nice liquidity. So you could have been putting your buy limit below this liquidity zone as well. So I even thought about doing it, but then I thought about, okay, I'm happy with the stop loss. I mean, how much was it? I guess 1.4. Yeah, 1.4 was the stop loss. Completely fine for me. I always try to go for 1.0 in the most cases, but it's okay. Not always. Okay, something between 1 to 2, and I'm totally fine. Only if it is above 2 pips, then I would have been definitely putting my buy limit at this liquidity point to come at my 2 pip stop loss. Only then I would say, okay, it's legit to really try to risk the trade so that you're not getting involved. That's the only point where I would say, okay, it's completely legit to do it. Perfectly. And price reacted off of this, came all the way back up to the M15 supply zone. So I already had one here, but this one was a pretty stupid one because it was not even in the premium discount zone, as you can see. So only this one was the only one where I even had my eyes on to look for a close. Now potentially price could from here drop all the way back down, following even the bearish trend because it has liquidity. It even took out the supply zone, as you can see. So in reality, it didn't tap into this supply zone. In reality, it tapped into this one here. That's what it did. So you can now delete this. It's not valid anymore. So now that's a supply zone. So right now it's just reacting off of the other one. Now what we can see here, it's just a range, and we can see that price potentially could go up higher to mitigate it. More to the depth, So my ID currently is price to go bullish, and I would like to see what New York is doing, to see if New York is pushing it more up higher, if New York is just trying to push it back into the supply zone so that we can go short from here. I don't know what it will do. What I know that I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a short from here, and short from here. That's it. So from my point of view, as long as we're going to be in this range, I feel the market to be bearish. I guess the price will go into this demand as well. So from this demand long, of course, but I don't think that it will just react off of here and going up like this. Yes, it's possible. I guess it's more realistic that we will tap one more time to the upside, probably even getting in this one. So this one is a super nice supply zone. So you can see here on the 4 hours how aggressively this wick is. This wick could have been already mitigating this kind of supply zone here, So this is why I'm definitely looking at this. But this wick could be also liquidity for the upper zone. Okay. So always think in probabilities, my friends, and try to wait for M15 charge at least, So if you're looking for a short and M15 is still bullish, it's a little bit tricky, Now in this case, it's okay because 4 hours are bearish. So whenever 4 hours bearish and the M15 is still bullish, and you're already at the top of a zone, then I would say it's legit after M1 confirmation to go short, because you have the higher time frame narrative on your side. But if here, 4 hour bearish, daily bearish, weekly bearish, everything bearish, and you're trying to go long without M15 giving you the bullish break of structure to the upside, that would have been super stupid, There's something which you should never do. But in this case, if you will just follow the higher time frame narrative, it's completely legit to follow it, even if the M15 didn't really switch. Charge would be already enough to look for that short opportunity. M15 charge, and then looking for M1, M5, BOS, price action confirmation, and you go short. Okay? So that's basically it. So let's just dive very quickly on M5 to see if we got here any interesting zones. So this one is already pretty good refined. Here, can just use this candle here. But of course, just wait for some reaction, you know, wait for the 1 second reaction, wait for the 1 minute charge, and then you can get involved into it. So don't really try to go right now too risky. I'm not sure how the market will be developed, you know, but in this case, so the top one could be a legit good one to go short with risk type of entry. These two ones, I'm not really sure about it. So the top one, okay, this one not really. So I would not use this one. So this one is the refined one. This is here the refined one. And yeah, that's already the refined one up there. Okay, so I just think price will tap into these. I'm not looking to long it again into these zones. It's just a bit too risky for me because I don't know where it will go. Potentially here, you know, potentially price will go here. Looking for some charge to follow bullish order flow would be also an idea. Price could even go like this, and price could even tap completely down, you know. So that's what speaks against going long on these two demand zones from my point of view. But if you say, okay, I got 1 minute BOS, I mean, you are in the M15 bullish structure. Why actually not? That's what speaks for this opportunity. So just try your best. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Everything will depend for me what New York Open will give me to see how it will react, to see where the liquidity will be exactly 10 minutes before price will open. And that's how I'm going to make my decision at the end if I will go long or not. Right now, you know, I already made profit for the day. So I'm always, when I make profit, I'm already open for every trade opportunity. So I see right now, okay, potentially a loss here, potentially a loss here, potentially a loss here, loss here, loss here. So minus 5 hours is what I could still do if price will just smash through like this or will take me out on every single opportunity here. I made already 33R. So for me, it's okay if I will end the day with 28. Of course, a little bit for the commissions is what I will need to pay as well. So will also take me something down. But yeah, still, I'm good for the day, profitable. So I'm such a person which likes then to risk, you know. Not sure if I will do it today because the last 2 weeks haven't been that good. So I'm already happy that I could have been banking already on a Monday some nice profits. So I have right now the self-confidence for the whole week. So that's definitely the best thing which can occur, and that's the best thing that you need to do to really try to keep your mindset positive within this market. So that's basically it. I'm going to also share with you very quickly this analysis in the Discord channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this trading day as well as I did it. Hopefully you understood right now my approach on how I took the trades. As you can see, quick summary: M15 BOS, looking for M5 demand zone. I recognized, okay, the M5 demand zone was not mitigated yet, so I was still expecting price to come down lower. I was waiting for the seconds to confirm it for me. In addition, that's what the price did, and then I just took the long. Pretty nice, pretty clean, pretty quick. That's how it should be, guys. Thanks for attention. See you then in the New York session, guys. Bye bye.